Hi, ng si before we start kay Mr. Kian, ikaw sa ang mag-lead sa Christian prayer. Tapos si Miss City sa Muslim. Okay? Dugan ra ko?
Yes, sir.
Sige, sige.
Let us put ourselves in the most holy presence of God. Lord, we offer to you our class today. We pray that through your divine guidance, we would learn how to listen attentively to the inputs of our teacher. May we appreciate our teacher's effort in imparting their knowledge to us. Amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Malik yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Uh, by the way, kanang Idul Mubarak din sa mga kauban, mga fellow Muslim din ha. Tapos, happy holiday for the mga brothers sister now there sa Christian. Okay. Unta na enjoy nyo yung holiday balag kamay lang. So, wait lang class. Makita na ang slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last meeting is we tackle this kaning hydrologic cycle, di ba? What are the two things that can happen when water precipitate? Unsay kanang mahitabo kung ang pagmuulan. So, unsa nga duha things ang mahitabo basta muulan? Class?
Mandaghan ang tubig, sir.
Ma?
Kwan, sir. Mayabo ang tubig ikan sa clouds, sir.
Okay. Na mayabo. Ulan. Dahil duha nga thing na mahitabo dinhi, which is kaninga runoff and filtration. So, kada kani. So what is unsa gali ang surface water? So
Water na naa sa kwan, sir. Kanang makita na sa surface sa earth, sir.
okay, water na magitaan sa surface. And unsay opposite niya?
Groundwater.
Okay, groundwater, very good. So topic na to karon is all about this groundwater. So unsay groundwater class? Kanang Hello?
Sir, siguro pag mag-infiltrate ang water from the clouds, ang water na mo salupsop sa soil ka na ang groundwater.
Okay. So, ito. Groundwater is the water found under in the rocks and space into soil, sand, and rocks. It is a storage in the move. It is a storage in move slowly through the geological forma- formation of soil, sand, and rocks called paper. So kani from the word nagground is kaning groundwater is located underground. So, sa ilalom sa yuta. However, is a underground layer of water-bearing permeable rock fractures or unconsolidated materials. Uh, Example lani is a gravel, sand, or silt. Groundwater from aquifer can be extended using a water wheel. So, important of this groundwater. Drinking water, groundwater supply. Drinking water from 50% of the population. And we have this irrigation, the groundwater accounts from 40% of water for irrigation. So, of the entire hydrosphere, all all of Earth water's only small percentage occur underground. Nevertheless, this small percentage uh, storage in the rock and sediment beneath the Earth's surface. It is a vast quantity. When the ocean are excluded and only sources of uh, fresh water are consolidated, the significance of the groundwater becomes more apparent. Without a question, groundwater represent the large reservoir or of fresh water that is readily available to humans. Its value in terms of economics and human well-being is incountable. So, meaning is that kaning nga groundwater is very important sa atuwa. Pero dili lang sa atuwa, importante pud ni siya sa mga organism na nag-exist karon. And importante pud ni siya sa mga plants, trees, etc. In some area, however, overuse of these basic resources has caused a serious problem, including stream flow depletion and land subsidence, and increase the pumping cost. In addition, groundwater contamination resulting from human activity. These are real and growth threatened in many places. So, kani sa mga some area is that kani is now various o di kaya na polluted ang kanilang mga groundwater because of mga pabrikan na ilang ginabuhat, gawas og mga chemical na dili angay sa atong kalibutan. And we have this geological rules and distribution. Geological groundwater is important as a erosional agent. The dissolving action of groundwater slowly removes rock, allowing surface depression known as a sinkhole to form, creating the subterranean caverns, and subterranean caverns. Groundwater is also a qualifier of a stream flow. Most of water that flow in the river is not direct runoff from the rain and snowmelt, rather than a large percentage of precipitation soaked in the movements slowly underground to the stream channel. Underground water is thus a form of storage that sustains the stream during a period when the rain does not fall. When we see a water uh, flowing in a river during a dry period, it is a water from the rain that fell at some earlier time and it was storage underground. So kani is example is that kana mura siya kaning memory card that dato na store ang mga water na kato nga times na nag-ulan. And then pag nag-dry season na o di kaya mga summer is kato ang mugawas ng mga tubig para pud ni sa atoa. And we have the porosity and permeability. Groundwater is one of our most important and widely available resources. Yet people perception of the surface environment from which it comes are often unclear and incorrect. The reason of the groundwater is hidden and view except in the caves and mines. And the impression of people gain from kaning subsurface opens are often misleading. In reality, most of the subsurface environment is not solid at all. Rather, it includes countless tiny pure space between grain of solid and sediment, plus narrow joints and fracture in bedrock. Together, this space add to an immense volume. Groundwater collects and move in these tiny pens. Kaning porosity the percentage of opens within a given volume of a rock. It's determine how much water a rock mass can hold. Porosity is kani. A is the higher if sediment is well sorted. And we have this B. B is a low sediment and lower if the sediment is well packed. And we have this C. Lower if the sediment is well cemented. And we have here this permeability. The capacity of a rock to transmit the fluid. It is varies when the fluid viscosity, hydrostatic pressure, size of the opens, and the degree of interconnection between the opens. And kani the sandstone and conglomerates are often highly permeable because of interconnect of pure space. Kani and we have here this structure dense rock which is sila ang basalt, granite, and limestone are also permeable. Kani. And we have here this groundwater flow extremely slow in comparison within the turbulent flow of a river. So, ang meaning lang ani is that ang groundwater extremely slow ang iyang movement. And we have this flow velocity of the groundwater commonly range from 1 meter a day to 1 year. Kani. And this only in special cases, such as a flow of water in caves, does the movement of the groundwater approach the velocity of low movement surface stream. Okay. And we have here the four main types of fluid space. And now, first the space between mineral grains. The second is kaning fractures. Third is kaning solution cavities, and we have this physical. As you can see in that picture is that kani ang percent na ma-filter ang tubig or moagi ang tubig. And the first one is vesicle and fracture and the basal. So kani sila have 30 to 40% na ma-filter din na tubig. And we have the second one sa ubos niya that which is the limestone. Aning solution cavities in the limestone have 30%. What say? 30% ng maagi din na tubig. Ma-filter din na tubig. And we have this space between gains in the sediment. Sandstone have kanipod siya is na siya 5% na ma-filter din na tubig. And kaning sa ubos niya is a space between grains and columerates have kaning 20% na ma-filter din na tubig. And we have this kaning pinakalas niya is gamay kayo na ma-filter din na tubig, which is 1 lang siya. Kanang 1% lang ni siya. And we have this groundwater distribution. So kani, we have the first one. We have this zone of aeration, area above water table, which is partly filled with our air and partly filled with the water. Ana, the water forms as a thin film, cleanly to grind by the surface tension. And we have the second one. The second one is the zone of saturation, where all open space between the sediments gains is completely filled with the water. So kani siya is that kanang murag ani ang store sa tubig kasi dagko ang iyang space tapos dira pod na storage ang ato nga mga water. And we have here this sa number 4. Ang number 4 na pod is that groundwater. Ang groundwater is water hidden within the zone of saturation. So, na siya sa zone of saturation kani. And we have this capillary phase immediately above the water table. Where the groundwater is hidden by the surface tension in the space between the grains of solid or sediments. And the last one is this one, the soil moisture. Soil moisture is the ground water heated by molecular attraction as a surface film on solid particles using by the plants from life function. For the life function. And we have here sa number 3 ang water table. Ang water table is the upper part of the zone of striation. So, makita niyo din ha is the kanayang location sa kanang broken line din ha. In the general, the water table tend to mimic the surface topography. The water table is at the surface in the lake, swamp, most of the streams. In arid region, most streams lie above the water table, so they lose much of their water through seeping into the ground. Uh, and we have this kani, PERCHED water table, o kani. Kaning produced when an impermeable layer. Of course, with a zone of aeration. If a PERCHED water table extend to the slide of the valley, springs and ships occur. So kanis, yeah. And we have here the groundwater movement. The movement of most groundwater is exceedingly slow from pool to pool. So meaning lang is that ang movement sa groundwater is kanang very slow. Typically rate if a few estimate centimeter per day. We have here this water move from areas where the water table is high to zone where the water table is lower. So kani anyang now that as you can see is that nasa water table and this groundwater kaning flow siya. Pero kaning flow niya is extremely very slow. And we have this recharge area where the water shifts into the aquifer from the rainfall, snow and snow melt, etc. And we have the discharge area like spring, streams, and kaning lakes. The high-low lake head, the difference in the elevation between parts of the water table movements. Movements of the water is not like that on the surface, which flow direct the downslope. So, ingon niya is that dili pareha katong nasa surface water na mga river na diretso lang flow. Groundwater tend to flow towards the both zone of a lower elevation and lesser pressure. Based on the groundwater, also called the low limit occurring of considerable depths. All pure space in the rocks are closed by high pressure and there is no free water. And the groundwater system is open system in which water enters by the surface water in filtration into the ground, and the movement through the system by percolating through the pores space of the rock. And we have this unlimitedly leave the system by shipping into the streams and di kaya sa mga lakes. So itong ginawa kanina. The groundwater system is open system in which paingon na kanina that kanang naimulan and then na uban ma-flow direct into the lake, streams, kaya mga river. And some katong mga rain is kanang mapadulong siya sa ilalom sa yuta. And then mag-move into kanang mga streams and lakes. Ano siya. And we have here this spring and stream types. So, kani. Asan na-locate? Kay familiar sa inyo aning kaning mga pictures na makita din Hello. Kinsa naka-familiar ani? Hello?
Wala pa. Dili kayo ka familiar na, sir.
So, dili kayo ka-familiar. Kani is a place where the groundwater flow or sweep the natural to the surface. Example lang ani kaning Luis, Timuga. Kato sila. Located man sila ni sa Ligan. Spring in space where the water move underground find the opens to lead to the land. Surface water image sometimes such a trick maybe only after a rain and sometimes it's continuously flow. Spring water can also immigrate from heated rock underground, giving the rise to hot spring, which people have found to make a delightful way of soaking away their problem. So, kani, with the use of kani mga kuan is that kanang ginaatuan ni sa mga tao because of kanang mag-enjoy lang sila, mag-relax dito mga places. Kani mga places. And we have here this mga types ng mga spring. Mga kuan nila, mga landform nila. The spring between permeable and permeable bed. So, kani yang naong. And we have this spring from vesicular basalt, and we have this spring from cavernous limestone, and kaning spring na spring from fault line. So, kani. And we have this kaning geyser, the a thermal spring that intermittently erupts stream and boiling water. It's required a certain condition from their development. So, para masabutan nato is that anang ingani niyang naong. Okay. A body of hot rocks must lie relatively close to the surface. A system of regular function must extend downward from the surface. And the relatively large and constant supplies of groundwater must be present. So, kaning iyang naong. So, when the kanang open space is that kaning mabutang og tubig, and then with the ating mga rock, hot rock is murag maboil katong water, and then mugawas katong types of kaning water or the spring. So kani ang mga actual picture. Wait lang kani. So murag kani classes nakita man ni sa mga movies. And we have this kaning streams. Kaning stream is a body of water with the surface water flowing within the bed and banks of channels. The flowing of a stream controlled by the three outputs. So, pwede siya kaning surface water and subsurface water and the ground water. Depend on its location and a certain characteristic. A stream may be referred to by a variety of local or regional names. Long, large streams are usually called a river. And we have this type of streams. With the first one, we have the gaining streams. Ang kani is the gaining water from the inflow of groundwater through the stream bed. The elevation of the water table must be higher than the elevation of the surface of this stream. So kani iyang picture. Mahitabo sa lahat. Kanang nag-gain ang kaninga ang katungas strip sa groundwater. Ani. And we have this the losing streams. Opposite sa katong gaining streams, like kaninga stream is that lose water to the ground system by outflow through the stream bed. The elevation of the water table is lower than the elevation of the surface of the kaninga stream. So kani murag kanang naitubig din ha sa top and then kanang napadulong sa ubos ang tubig dito kanang na filter kani until sa may mo siyang ingani kaning sa ubos niya. And we have this one aquifer lake hills. Ang kani is the artesian water ani yang no. Artesian water confined and acquired between permeable beds. It's under the pressure like water in the pot. Where the walls well of fracture intersect the aquifer water rise in the open, producing the flow well of artesian spring. So kana siya kanang kani ang picture kanang kanang mapuno na katong groundwater sa ubos is that murang kanang ginabuhat nato na kanang mukuha ta tubig dito sa ubos. Then there is some kaning there is some Marawi is that kanang ginabuhat dire is that gahimo og mga pump para dili namin magsalig sa kanang mga ma-provide og mga water. So dali ra kayo makakuha og tubig. So kani murag kaniya kanang makita niyo din ha sa picture is that kanang blue na murag gasaka kanang blue na nasa gasaka is that kana ang mga agyanan gihimo nga mga agyanan sa tubig ha. And we have here the wheel. So kani holes dug into the ground to reach the zone of saturation in the order to access the fluid. So naimong ingani because of na over na kanang na sa kadaghan sa naghimong kanang agyanan sa tubig is that kanang nahimo siya kaning cone of expression kaning dinhi kanang murag nag-curve din ha is kanang water din ha, and we have here the cone of depression. So kani, as you can see in that two pictures kanang sa first picture is kani iyang naong kanang iyang water table. Kani ang before heavy pumping. So sa second picture is that after heavy pumping na ni siya. So nahimong aning the cone of depression. Murag na curve ang lower water table. So kani murag na overuse or di kaya na daghanan buhat sa kato nga particular area. Kato. And we have here this kaning groundwater erosion. Ang water kani ang yang naong so a slow movement of groundwater can dissolve the hard quantities of the solid rock and carrying it away in solution. So kani is natakal man ni sa katong sa galito sa weathering. This is a type of chemical weathering, di ba? It is transport the dissolved mineral matter and either discharge in it into other parts of the hydrologic system or deposit it within the pure space with the groundwater erosion start within water percolating through joints, followed by bending plates and dissolving insoluble rock. In time, the fracture enlarged to form subterranean network of legal caves. Water seeps through the fracture and bending of the limestone kani. And kani yang kaning baga process niya. First is that the water seeps through the fracture and bend of the limestone. Kani sa first picture. And the second picture is the cavity and enlarged kana. And the ground stream system is established. So kana. And we have here kaning sa last na niya is that the valley sinks deeper and deeper. The ground river established. Caves may collapse to form sinkhole. So kani. Ang sinkhole is kani iyang naong murag kaning nabutasan na earth producing by the cave flow large unit the roof collapse and retain like depression result solution cavity enlarged to form a solution valley which continue to grow until the soluble rock is removed completely. So, the most important dissolution agent in the carbonic acid, the sulfuric acid, may also be present in the groundwater. The first picture is that kani ang Guatemala sinkhole. And we have here sa Pilipinas po this nato inahitabo po din kani nga sinkhole. Ani on the kaning left side of the kaning picture is that this is underwater sinkhole in the Romblon kani, and we have this the right side of the picture is that kani ang sa Cebu sinkhole kani, and we have this mga caves kasi naturally formed by terranean open area, chamber or series of the chamber commonly produced in the limestone by solution activity. So, kaning class on the right picture is kaning nga cave is located in the Iligan. And then, kanipod, kani nga second picture, which is hindang cave in Iligan. Kani. And then, we have here kanipod. Kani nga cave is located pod ni siya in Cagayan de Oro. Kani nga duwa nga cave. I have this cave deposit, which is first the mineral matter dissolved by the groundwater can be deposited in in a variety of ways. So first we have this dripstone, collective terms from groundwater deposit formed by precipitation from slow percolating and dripping groundwater rich in mineral matter. And we have this stalactite, insect shaped deposit of greenstone hanging from the roof of Katunga Cave. And we have this stalagmite, conical deposit of limestone built up from cave floor. So ang first is the Katunga. Ang first is sa hanging of the roof of this cave. Kaning stalagmite is kani anyang floor pod. And we have this drip curtain. It's a thin sheet of dripstone hanging from the ceiling of the wall of the cave. It may follow the trace of fracture on the ceiling or wall. And we have this travertine traces. An deposit of calcium carbonate deposit by flowing pools of water on the cave floor and carbonate rich water discharged along the slope. So these deposits, however, are trivial compared to amount of mineral deposit in the pure space of rock. And we have this Karst topography. This distinctive type of material resulting largely from erosion by groundwater, characterized by the sinkhole, solution valley, round hills, and coves, and others feature produced by the water activity. This one is the tower karst developed in the tropical areas where dissolution is at the maximum because of the abundance of water from heavy rainfall. It is characterized by the shape of cone-like hills, forming from the dissolution of soluble rock such as this limestone, dominate, and gypsum. It is characterized by the groundwater drainage system by sinkhole and caves. It is also documented from more weathering resistant rocks such as quarters given in the right condition. And we have this geode kani siya. Kani ang naong anang pag-open nimo sa rock is not siya crystalline site. It's a geological secondary formation within a sediment with and volcanic cracks. Geodes are hollow, wangweli, and spring crack. It is the mass of mineral matters. Anang may include na mga crystals. crystal. The crystals are formed by the filling of vesicle in the subvolcanic rock by minerals deposited from thermal fluids or by dissolution of slide genetic con- uh, kaning concentration and partial filling by the same, or the minerals precipitate from water the ground or thermal fluid. So katong arag is lingan din paghimo ato kaniyang formation. First is that nag-flow ang kaning uh, nag-flow ang nag-flow ang kaning lava, tapos that naging ani, and then na-solidify, na-crystallize, tapos naay water na intend na mosulod dito until na nahimong na-crystallize na to till na sa sulod nakahimo siya mga crystal. Ani ang information. So we have here the hot spring deposit. Hot spring deposit is that calcium carbonate deposition usually of travertine from hot spring in the geothermal areas. So kani ang mga example ng mga pictures. O kana. And we have here this mga advantages and disadvantages of this groundwater. Mag-una sa dinhi sa iyang mga advantages. So not easily contaminated than surface water. We have here this quality is stable throughout the year. We have generally lower in the bacteria count and available in most location. So kaning mga advantages. And we have these disadvantages. Ang mga disadvantages, we have here this difficult to recover once contaminated. So kani siya is lisod siya ni mag-recover once na ma-polluted katong mga groundwater because na lang sila sa ground. And usually contain more minerals, increasing operation cost, and we have here the most susceptible to long-term contamination from fluid spill. And we have this often high level of iron and magnesium. And we have this subject to salt water intrusion. And source of contamination can be hidden from the site. And we have this mga environmental problems of the groundwater. So, like many of our other variable natural resources, groundwater is being exploited in increasing the rate. In some area, overuse in the groundwater supply. In other places, groundwater withdrawal has caused the ground and everything resting on it to sink. Still other localities are concerned with the possible contamination of this groundwater supply, overuse and misuse of this mga groundwater resulting in nasa lima. Ang lima is stream flow depletion, we have this land subsidence, we have this saltwater intrusion, increasing pumping costs from even deeper supplies, and contamination. Groundwater groundwater consumed variable resources that is being exploited at the an every increasing rate. A variety of problems resulting from human activity altered the ground system. So, kani nga mga problema is that tungod pud ni sa mga kita human activities. And we have here this mga problem na resulting from human activities. Ani? Any concentration of chemical or waste created local spaghetti that potential can contaminate the groundwater reservoir. And we have this leaching, the process by which groundwater dissolved and transported to soluble component of a rock or soil, usually downward or down rigid. Aning groundwater contains available resources that is being exploited and even increase the rate of variety problems resulting from human activity. Kani ang nahitabo if katong ang naay mga chemical na kanang walay mga proper na paglabay sa katong mga chemical. Kasi if katong mga chemical is dira nimo gilabay kanang basinasa is that kani ang nahitabo sa katong mga chemical na kanang chemical is that mo kanang murag mo atupod siya sa ubos sa groundwater sa underground, and then pag ato niya sa ground is that mamit ni ang atong mga kaning mamit niya katong kwan underwater, mga nasa ilalom sa yuta nga mga naitubig dito. And then polluted kato nga groundwater na nadto. And then pag ma-polluted na to is that dili na to mainom kato mga tubig dito. So pag dili na ta mainom, dili na ta makainom is that dili na healthy antud sa mabalik sa atong mga ipangbuhat sa environment. And we have the saltwater encroachment. The movement of the salt into the ground sources of the fresh water, which can occur in the coastal region or inland. And the surface movement of the salt water inland from the coastal. So you can siya is usually nasa sa mga coastal regions. The first picture na makita niyo din is the lens of groundwater beyond of the denser sea waters. So kana until sa kanang excessive pumping caused a cone depression in freshwater leading to the seawater encroachment. So as you can see in that picture is that basta kanang kalalim kanang heavy mong pagpump sa katong mga wastewater sa nasa ilalom is that makahimo siya cone of depression. So kanang murag bidin ha is that ang cone of depression na nahitabo din ha. And we have this so-called the change in the position of the water table. So subsidence, the sinking or the silting of a part of the earth crust with respect to the surrounding parts. It is a rising of the water table by too much Irrigation can produce spring where the where there no spring before. So kani siya. And then the erosion and mass wasting. Lower of the water table is turned cold, resulting in drops and some subsidence. Subsidence the sink or silting apart of the earth crust with the respect of kaning iyang mga surrounding parts. Surface subsidence related to the groundwater can result from natural earth process such as development of the sinkhole uh, or from the artificial withdrawal of the fluids, which may result in the compaction of the aquifer. So, kani ang change in the position of the water table. So, do na may mga question about regarding to the topic? Karon? Hello? Wala na may question din, eh? Magalas. Hello?
Murag wala na, sir.
Na, sir.
Wala na. So, diretso na mo karon sa inyong kaning Discord. Kasi na may activity karon. So, thank you for coming. Kita-gits dito sa Discord. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye, sir.
Sir.
Bye, sir.